Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. We are back here to discuss the latest transfer news with Manchester United. Here we go again. Do us a favour at the start of this stream, though. Smash that like button on it. Give us a massive like if you haven't done so. Share us around if you fancy. There's a link pinned at the top of the live chat. Give us a little repost if you want. Share us around. You know it makes sense. Also, get yourself involved in the live chat, of course, throughout. Have your say. Get your thoughts and opinions in throughout. We'll be dipping in and out the live chat. What a shit show. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us, everybody, in the live chat. We'll get into the live chat in a bit. Let's just kick things off by saying, what an absolute steaming, festering, gashtastic, melty window this is going to turn out to be if we end up losing Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenhollands and potentially friggin' Bryan Mbeumo to friggin' Spuds. I don't think the Spuds thing's going to happen, but obviously the Gyokeres thing's looking likely now, isn't it, that we're going to miss out on him. And let's face it, if he's made it clear that his preference is to join Arsenal, then we don't want anybody's second choices. If Arsenal can't sign him, if that can't materialise, we don't want anybody's second choice. It's absolutely gash. Let's get stuck into the news here then, guys. Let's have a little look. So the big headline really from earlier on, just a few minutes ago, is that Fabrizio Romano reporting that Viktor Gyokeres' priority is to join Arsenal this summer, despite calls from Manchester United in recent weeks. Gyokeres always an option amid Sesko talks with no deal sealed so far. Arsenal keep assessing the situation. United remain keen, but believe a deal now unlikely. Oh, for fuck's sake. What a stinker. Obviously, it's dead then. The deal's dead. I mean, we're not going to choose somebody who wants Arsenal if they indeed can't sell him. So it does seem like at the moment, anyway, his priority would be to join a team that has Champions League football, that's up there challenging for things. Yes, the Ruben Amorim link is nice, but it's clear that Champions League football is important to Viktor Gyokeres. There's been lots of reports over the previous couple of weeks that he would still be interested in joining Manchester United regardless of UCL. And that may be true. But if there's a team that is willing to go in for him and try and sign him that does have UCL football, that is up there playing regularly to challenge for things, even if they are finishing second, it is obviously a much more attractive proposition than coming to play for Manchester United right now, who finish 15th and don't have any UCL football. That's just the facts. And there's no guarantees we could get back there this season or next season anyway. So, you know, but it hasn't happened yet. But as I've said, due to the fact that this guy clearly doesn't want to join Manchester United as his number one preference, that means that Manchester United really do need to start looking elsewhere. We need to look for somebody else. We need to sign somebody else because we don't want somebody that's, you know, that's preference is to join Arsenal. That's the reality. And this guy wants to join Arsenal by the reports that are coming out today anyway. I mean, if we have a little look at some of the other links coming out, so Marco Alcaraz also reporting that reports suggest that Viktor Gyokeres' preferred destination is Arsenal. Man United are now aware of this and won't waste much more time trying to persuade him. Alternatives now being discussed internally. Ben Jacobs give a little bit more of a detailed breakdown here. Let's read this one out. So this is from a few minutes before the stream also. It just says, Viktor Gyokeres prefers a move to the Premier League and would welcome an Arsenal bid, as Record Portugal reported. Obviously, Record Portugal reporting this morning. Quite a long time ago, but it is Record Portugal, obviously. So, you know, everybody was taking it with a bit of a pinch of salt. But now it has been sort of essentially confirmed here by the likes of Fabrizio and everybody, then it obviously does seem to have some serious weight. It goes on to say, Arsenal still deciding between Benjamin Sesko and Gyokeres. Andrea Berta simultaneously advanced both deals. What a wank bag. So obviously getting in there early doors to, you know, to try and put the feelers out for both. Manchester United not having such clever mentality when it comes to the window. Gyokeres would be open to Manchester United. There has been no formal rejection, but a deal to date has also never been at an advanced stage, despite suggestions. United have not made any formal approach to Sporting. Swedish striker, one of the several striker options discussed for Manchester United. Gyokeres believes he'll still be allowed to leave Sporting for around 70 million euros. Arsenal have always been one to watch, but it will depend on Berta now because he's also in ongoing talks for Sesko. At the same time, with a bid for one of the two targets expected soon, Gyokeres is going to give priority to the Premier League clubs despite having firm interest from Saudi and a growing number of European suitors, right? So It's a shit show, guys. It's an absolute shit show. We've all been sort of hanging our hat on Viktor Gyokeres, hoping that he's going to come in with that Ruben Amorim link, 54 goals in 52 games, and be the catalyst to help us score goals. Now it seems we have to now reassess and go and sign somebody else, which isn't ideal. Yeah, Victor Osimhen would be a good call, sure. But he's going to want a shitload of money. It's just going to be an expensive deal, and you don't know if he's just coming to be a mercenary and take the paycheck like many other strikers that have come. It's a concern, whereas if we were going to get somebody like Viktor Gyokeres, you would feel like he'd be coming not just for the money, but also maybe to link back up with the likes of Ruben Amorim, and because there's big potential at Manchester United. So, yeah. As far as the situation goes with us, I don't think we should go for Viktor Gyokeres then. If that's his preference, regardless of whether they get Sesko or not, if they sign Benjamin Sesko now and do not go in for Viktor Gyokeres, and that leaves Gyokeres free for us to go and get, I mean, it's a bit of a kick in the bollocks, to be honest with you, if this is the case, if he prefers Arsenal. What's that all about? It's a come and get me plea to Arsenal. If he prefers Arsenal, go to Arsenal. You know, go to friggin' Arsenal then. Manchester United should have players that want to be at Manchester United. That's what I'm saying. Even if that player is a slightly lesser standard. Ultimately, we would want a player who wants to be here. So, as far as Gyokeres to United goes, I mean, maybe it's dead now. Look, other outlets are suggesting that this deal may still happen if Arsenal do go and get Sesko. Let's ask the live chat very quickly. Yes or no? Would you take Gyokeres at United if Arsenal sign Sesko, even though Gyokeres has said that his preference is to join Arsenal? Yes or no? Let us know your thoughts and opinions. But for me, I say no. I say we want somebody who's going to jump at the opportunity to come and play for Manchester United, just like Matheus Cunha did at Wolves, personally. I want somebody who wants to jump at the opportunity, not somebody it's their second choice or their third choice, or they're just coming because of the money. You know, I don't want that. I want somebody who really wants to be here, to be honest. So, if he wants to play for Arsenal, then he's a bigger mug than I thought he was. Because let's face it, Arsenal are a bunch of freaking bridesmaids. They're never going to win. And I don't think he'll be the mystery piece of the puzzle that finally gets it. Because ultimately, it's a mentality thing at Arsenal. They're bottle jobs. So, you know, he's not going to win the Champions League at Arsenal. They've never won it. We've won it 3 times. He's not going to win the Premier League. They've not won it for over 20 years. We've won it 13 times. Okay, we haven't won it for a while. But we'll win the bloody Premier League before Arsenal do. I'll tell you that much. And we finish 15th and they finish 2nd. I have firm confidence we'll win it before they do. They're perennial bottle jobs, lads. Perennial. Yes, okay, we bottle jobbed it this last season just gone. Season before that won the FA Cup. Season before that won the League Cup. You know, we're not perennial bottle jobs. Arsenal are perennial bottle jobs. They're annual bottle jobs. You know, it's what they do. No, says Alex. Yes, says Stephen. No, says ZX Flames. Gyokeres, no. Mbeumo, no. Traitor, yes. No, he can F off. I like your style, yes. Yes, we are gaming tonight, lad. Exactly, no, says Welshman. Agree. Yep. Ineos knew that without Gyokeres wouldn't happen. Why are they so stupid? Well, I guess they've been trying, haven't they? So there's been lots of reports of contact over the last few weeks. Ultimately, that contact is going to be, you know, behind-the-scenes speculative stuff, literally as much as to say, you know, contacting his agents and saying things like, is he interested and open to joining Manchester United if we try and make the deal with Sporting? That's the sort of thing that's going to have happened. There's nothing to advance. It's not like there's any bids actually been tabled or anything. No personal terms agreed. It's just putting the feelers out there. And to be fair to Gyokeres, there's never been anything to suggest that he's given us our word or that he wants to come and play for Manchester United or Amorim. We assume that he would want to because we are a huge club. And he does have Ruben Amorim at the football club, which is a guy that's obviously had a hand in his development and was coaching him previously at Sporting. So you would think maybe that would be enough. But unfortunately, that game against Tottenham, guys, that game in the Europa League final to miss out on Champions League, I missed a super chat, did I? Oh, shit. Thank you so much, Arsenal Manic, lad. Let me go and have a look at this, lad. Oh, Daz Salford, mate. Thank you so much. Shout out to Sir David Beckham. I know that is amazing, mate. Get in there. He has been knighted, lad. Sir David Beckham. Fantastic. Awesome. Fantastic. Brilliant. But even that can't change my mood on this shit, lad. On this Viktor Gyokeres loss, it seems. I mean, ultimately, United need to... Thank you so much, Daz. United need to reassess, don't we? We need to absolutely try and get ourselves another top striker. I mean, who could we go and get, guys? Have your say. You know, I quite like the Mateta link. I quite like Mateta just because he's got that Premier League proven experience. He's the same sort of age, like 27, obviously in that experience time. I mean, I don't think he's going to be as clinical maybe as Viktor Gyokeres would have been, but at least he has the Premier League experience, yeah? I think he scored 14 goals. Then you've got Victor Osimhen, who, let's face it, is a higher standard, but again comes with some question marks. Comes with concerns about how much it's going to cost and wages and all that sort of stuff. That's also a massive concern. Yep, Sesko. Well, if Arsenal don't get Sesko, I suppose we could go and get Sesko. But I don't really like Sesko that much. Again, I think he's a player that still needs to develop a bit. He's reasonably young. You know, we don't need another Gashmus Boyland who struggles to adapt to the Premier League. Victor, yeah, we are skint. Yeah, saw this coming. There you go. So what I was saying anyway is the Europa League final, the loss to Spurs, it's absolutely cost us so much, hasn't it? Not just in terms of Champions League football this season, but the ability to actually attract the players to come. If we had have won that, then we would have had the ability to bring in these players. Simple as that, really. We'd have UCL football even with a 15th place finish, and we're still Manchester United, so we would pretty much be offering these players just exactly what they want. Yes, they know United may be in a bit of a poor period, but still big Champions League side. Still a team that wins European trophies and won a trophy every season for the last 3 years. That's if we won the Europa League, which we didn't. We allowed those Spurs mugs to win with a phantom goal. Shittest final ever. So, obviously, that's cost us big time. That has massively cost us the ability to bring in the players that we needed this summer. And now we're just diving around in the bargain bucket for some scraps, pretty much now it seems. Crazy. We own Marcus Rashford. Yeah, what about it, Ryan? He's an absolute bottle job, though. He can't be asked to play for us, mate. You know, the only good thing that we can maybe do with Marcus Rashford is possibly swap him for someone like Jamie's just said here, who might actually want to come and play for us. He seems kind of out of sorts at Villa. Maybe it makes sense to do a little cheeky swap deal, you know? So now it seems United have to sort of reassess the options for number 9. Not necessarily just yet. Perhaps Viktor Gyokeres will still be open to joining Man United. But as I've said earlier on, it annoys me the fact that his preference is to join Arsenal. I don't want somebody in our club whose preference is to be a gooner. You know, what's that all about? That's pathetic. He should be jumping at the opportunity to be United's number 9. So it's obviously not the right fit for him. If it's not the right fit for him, it's not the right fit for us. You're in La La Land, mate. Oh, if only I was, mate. If only I was, lad. But I'm not in La La Land. I'm in Gash Land with a bunch of fucking gash bags. Not you. The Manchester United hierarchy. Not you, guys, not you. The hierarchy at United does my head in, guys. The recruitment has been poor, hasn't it? It's looking like we're still going to get Mbeumo done, but at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Not at all if Brentford ended up selling him to Spurs and he wanted to go and sign up or link back up with Thomas Frank. Because they've got UCL football, guys! That's what we're going on about! We've missed out on UCL! And Spurs have UCL, even though they're shit and finished 17th, they do have UCL football this season. And so do Arsenal, they got to the semi-finals. And so teams like that at the moment, they're just going to be slightly more attractive to play for if you're a player, particularly coming from a foreign league as well, who plays in the Champions League. Let's face it, Gyokeres plays in the Champions League. He scored 6 in 8 this season for Sporting. Arsenal went deep in the Champions League. They went to the semi-finals. He's probably looking at that going, they finished second in the Prem, they got to the semis. They're not that far away from actually winning things. Perhaps with my goals, we could actually win things. Maybe that's what he's thinking, and to be fair to him, he's got a bloody good point, if that's what he's thinking, because that probably is what's going to happen. They're not that far away. I still think they'll still finish second ultimately and find a way to bottle it. But if you look at what their main problem was last season, it was the number 9. It was the fact they didn't have a proper striker playing bloody Marino and stuff up there, and they didn't have a proper striker. So from that perspective, it makes sense for him to go there, because it could be the piece of the puzzle that actually gets them to be winners. Half Gazzo, thank you so much for your super chat, by the way. He says, if we don't get a top striker, bottom of the table again. I agree, Half Gazzo, I agree, and that's still without having to address the issues at the back with the goalkeeper. But certainly the striker position, if we don't get a top striker, somebody who can score at least 20 goals in the Premier League, we are fucked, mate! We are proper done for. That was the biggest problem in our team this season just gone, was the lack of ability to create goals and score goals. You know, the rest of it, the defending, yeah, okay, pretty gash at times, but let's face it, defensively, not an issue, really. We do have some decent defenders on paper and stuff. The actual problem areas are the forward positions, the goals. Yes, we've added Mateus Cunha, that's brilliant. But we've still got Gashmus Boyland on top there, who's going to be banging in all of 2 goals all season unless we replace. So, obviously, Gyokeres, with his 54 goals in 52 games for Sporting last season, would have obviously given us a real hope and a sense that we can go in and change that now. Now, we need to go and get somebody else. This is where United's hierarchy and board and recruitment team need to man up. Stop. Just pull their fingers out of all those bloody Frey Bentos pies they've borrowed from Luke Shaw for 1 minute and go and sign us a proper striker early doors in this window now. Viktor Gyokeres, fair enough. Yeah, if don't want to play for us, fucking do one then, son. Go and be a gooner, mate, and melt in second place, lad. Fine. We need to go and get somebody else who does want to be a United player, and we need to get them in early before the pre-season starts to score some frigging goals for us this season, lad. You know? And what about Mbeumo? Mbeumo. Where's the fucking Mbeumo news, guys? Man United are having a stinker. They started well, didn't they? Oh, yes, Mateus Cunha's going to be done, is it? Brilliant. That's done. Nice one. Thanks very much for that. Now what? Now we're going to let shitting Spurs steal Mbeumo as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I've still got to hope that we're going to sign Mbeumo, because at least that solves a lot of the issues up there in terms of goals, and he can even play up top if you need him to sometimes, whatever. But obviously playing number 10s, Cunha and Mbeumo, that sounds meaty. That sounds meaty as fuck in that Manchester United team. But without Mbeumo and without Gyokeres, there's going to be some serious players lacking there, and we have to reassess. Now, the thoughts are, if we couldn't get Mbeumo right, then perhaps we would go and get Easy or Semenyo, someone like that. This is via Rob Dawson. You know, maybe we wouldn't. Maybe we'd get number 8 and play Bruno in the 10. Who knows? There's lots of things you could do if we can't get Mbeumo. Fine. There's lots of things we can do if we can't get Mbeumo. It's Semenyo, Easy, you know, lots of different... But if we can't get Gyokeres, which we seemingly can't at the moment because his preference is to join the shitty Arsenal-Hollands, but if we can't get him, then who do we sign? That's the real question. Is it going to be a money deal for Osimhen? Bring a mercenary in and hope that he doesn't just completely down tools like an Alexis Sanchez type twat? Or do we go for somebody who's got a bit more Premier League proven sort of abilities? However, they may not have the same goal record of what we could potentially get, i.e. a Mateta or someone like that. Mateta, great player, 14 goals in the Premier League season just gone. Yeah, nice, could be decent, but he's not going to blow anyone's socks off, I believe. You know, I don't think he is going to be that 20 plus a goal a season man. Ivan Toney's interesting shout, Lee Dixon. Fair enough, Ivan Toney. But listen, he's on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week over there, and he's gash. Well, he's not gash, he's very good, but he's on hundreds of thousands over there, mate, and I don't think he's going to be wanting to give that up. You know, plus, let's face it, unless he's got a cheeky bet on himself to join Manchester United, he's probably not going anywhere because he's not fulfilled the 2 years to get the tax-free fucking earnings, lad. So unless he's put a cheeky little flutter on himself to sign for Manchester United, I doubt it. By the way, guys, if you're just getting in the stream, we've got 341 legends in here. Welcome aboard the stream tonight, guys. We've got 154 likes. Thank you, everyone who's hit the like button. It does help the stream out and help the channel out and help us grow. So hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get yourself subscribed. It's free to subscribe. Click the bell icon so you get notifications for the streams, and get yourself involved. Q&A at the end. Yes, Mikhail Kramer, how are you getting on, my friend? That's it. So get your thoughts in, guys. Who do you think we should sign at striker? The way I see it, the shortlist beyond Gyokeres is looking a little bit less convincing to me. You know, Mitrovic, you know, oh, come on. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate. What? You know, and it's not a bad shout, Joshua. Mitrovic a few years back was a very good player in the Prem. I said a couple of years back I would have had him. Before he went to Saudi, I've absolutely had him to come and join to our ranks and play some sort of a support role. But as our number 9, fuck no, bud. Not anymore. We need somebody who's like actual European pedigree. Mitrovic did score a lot of goals when he was at Fulham. He's a good player. But he's a backup at best, mate. He's a backup at best for us now, lad. Calvert-Lewin or Jamie Vardy. Oh, what are we doing? No to Calvert-Lewin, mate. He's an injury-prone mess as well. Jamie Vardy, yeah, sure. I'd take Jamie Vardy at United, but literally only as a third-choice backup, lad. He's fucking 106 years old. Come on. He's a good player and he still could do it, but goodness me, he's only a backup. We can't rely on him to be the main number 9. Ollie Watkins, now you're talking. Now you're making some sense. Now you're getting there. Now people are starting to sort of get it. You know, no disrespect, guys. I'm pissed off. Sorry. There's me just slagging you guys off. Sorry. It's not your fault, is it? But anyway, Ollie Watkins is a shout, yes, because he could potentially be wanting to leave Villa. Maybe there's something we could do with Villa in terms of Rashford as well. So that's a possibility, lad. Osserman, Ekitike, Sesko, Retegui, Mateta. Right, yes, let's have a look at this as well. So just in regards to what you said there is a link to Ekitike as well. So talks between Hugo Ekitike's agent and Manchester United have become more concrete in the past 2 days, with positive discussions involving the player. United have also spoke with Eintracht Frankfurt and are aware of the conditions for a deal. Right? Great. So we've put the feelers out for Ekitike. He does seem good. He does look good. But fuck me, what are we doing? It's not the answer again here. He's a player that's obviously still developing. He's only, 22? He's not even bloody representing France yet at a senior level. Come on. If we are going to sign players like that, we just might as well stick with Gasmus Boyland. And I'm not saying he's not as good as Gasmus Boyland, because I'm sure he is. Anybody's better than Gasmus Boyland. But look what happens when you sign somebody that still needs to develop, that is still going to take a little bit of time to actually get to the level that you need them to. There's no guarantees that they're going to be able to score. We have no time to develop players. We have no time for passengers. We have no time for a project of 5 years to get somebody from being an inexperienced player to being an actual baller. We have to go out there and sign ready-made ballers. Thank you, Tavis Whedon, for your super chat here, Tavis. Get in. He says, I don't want a player who doesn't want to be here. We have to get a proven striker, period. Also, we'll be gutted if Bryan doesn't sign. Thank you so much, Tavis Whedon, lad. You may have the most American name I've ever heard in my life, lad. Do you know what I'm saying? Tavis Whedon. Tavis Whedon. Anyway, love that, mate. You don't want a striker who doesn't want to be here. I'm the same. If Gyokeres' desire is to go and play for Arsenal, he's obviously tapped in the head, firstly, but secondly, we don't want him, because he's just a second-place silver melter. Do you know what I'm saying? You see that? I don't know if you can see the thumbnail on this video right now. You probably can't. But there's a thumbnail for this video, and in the thumbnail, he's actually biting a gold medal. Well, you better be prepared to swap that gold medal for a silver medal joining Arsenal, Victor, because that's what's going to happen, mate. You're a bunch of second-place bottle jobs. Thank you, Tavis Whedon. I appreciate you, my friend. That's awesome, lad. Yeah, if Bryan Mbeumo doesn't sign as well, now we are starting to take the piss. Now it's going to be one of the worst windows we can imagine. Seriously, because we've got our primary targets. Fair play to us. We've sort of set our stall out at the start of the summer window. We really have started to try, at least, to sign some players early doors. We've not been too effective in it at the moment. We've got Cunha. That's a great start. But the Mbeumo deal's stalled. That situation is still very annoying, where it seems like they can't even get the structure or the finalisation of an agreement in place, and they're just leaving the door open. The door's open. There you go, Thomas Frank and Spurs. Come on in. The door's open because we are too much fiddy-faddy philanderers. That's right. We're fannying around all the time rather than getting deals done and just paying an extra couple of £1 million to get the deal done. So if we do lose out on Mbeumo, well, that's just going to be an extra big kick in the bollocks to add to this Gyokeres one. Because Gyokeres, I think, is more important for us, actually, than Mbeumo even though Mbeumo has 20 goals in the Prem and is more proven. We are desperate for number 9, and I feel like Gyokeres could be that ultimate number 9 for us right now that we can sign. We can't go and sign the Mbappes of this world. We have to be realistic. This guy could get you 20-plus goals a season in the Prem. That's what I'm hoping we would get if we got him, but now it looks like no. And as you said, Tavis, if he doesn't want to be here, if he wants to go to Arsenal, we don't want him, which means that we have to go and look somewhere else. And let's face it, if the reports are coming out that he does prefer Arsenal, even if he ends up not going to Arsenal, even if that happens, if they sign Sesko, but he's made his preference clear that he wants to join Arsenal, well, then I don't really want somebody who's deciding to join us second after Arsenal. Screw that. We want somebody who's desperate to play for Manchester United. Brett Gordon, thank you so much, Brett, for getting in here raw, lad, and subscribing to the channel. And not just subscribing, I should say. Being a member. Becoming a member there, Brett. Let's get some love in there for Brett Gordon, everybody. He's become a member. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, mate, and being a member of the Bacon Brigade, lad. Everybody welcome him in with your favourite emojis. Enjoy your access to emojis. Enjoy your name in green. And enjoy the admiration there, Brett Gordon, lad. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, dude. Berber, what's going on, lad? Oh, it's a shit show, Berber, lad. Shammy, Grievous, Marinico, everybody who's in here, keep smashing the likes, all that jazz. Let's get into the rest of it then. So, as we've discussed, right, Gyokeres prefers Arsenal. Marco Alcaraz says that reports suggest that Viktor Gyokeres' preferred destination is Arsenal. Man United now aware of this and won't waste much more time trying to persuade him. Alternatives now being discussed internally. So we've got to start looking at alternatives. We will start looking at players like Mateta or maybe Sesko or, some of these other options that we've discussed over the previous weeks, Osman and people like that. None of it's ideal, though, because I think we had an opportunity there to get somebody with such an impressive goal record. If he could have even added half of that to us in the Prem, it would have been great. And also, I'm worried about what it's going to do for Arsenal. Arsenal will be strengthened by this. They are losing out on that number 9, or they lost out having no number 9 this season. If they did have a proper number 9, they could have maybe won something. And with Gyokeres up there, Arsenal aren't that far away from being a pretty formidable team. They just need somebody up there who can bang a lot of goals in for them from striker, and they'll be pretty on track to challenge, I'd say. So from that perspective, it kind of does make sense. I can't really blame Viktor Gyokeres, if I'm being honest, guys. So as much as I want to say you're a douche, Viktor Gyokeres, for preferring Arsenal, right now, if you're from the outside looking in, you can't really blame the lad. Arsenal finished second, semi-finals of the Champions League. They have Champions League next year. They've obviously got a coach who's been there years now, 6 years or something. He's established. It's a much easier place to go into than it is at Manchester United right now, where also the facilities are not that great at United. The stadium's not that great compared in terms of, obviously it's got the biggest capacity, but in terms of the facilities and the sort of the state-of-the-art nature of it, it's just not really up to scratch. And the pressure at Manchester United is just as big as anywhere, really, yet the actual quality of the team is not there. There's still a big question mark about what Amarim's going to do. Because let's face it, if Gyokeres went to go and play for Amarim because he's his friend, or not his friend, but because he previously coached him, he was a part of his career previously, had that working relationship with him, that is a plus point. But if Gyokeres went to go just for that reason, to go and play for Ruben Amorim again, well, in 6 months' time, I hate to say it, but in 6 months' time, Ruben Amorim could be sacked off. And then what's happening? Then what happens to Viktor Gyokeres? So that's a real possibility right now. There is no guarantees that Ruben Amorim's going to make a success of this at United. I really hope that he does. We need to give him the tools to try and do so. But ultimately, in 6 months, he could not be here. If he tanks it for the start of the season and we're down in 12th, 14th, whatever position after 10 games, you best believe there's a real possibility that he's getting sacked off. And so from Gyokeres' point of view, as much as that previous working relationship with him does count for something, it's still not a very stable time for him to actually go into Manchester United for many reasons, including that one. Yeah, exactly. Jamie says, great point, Joe. That's possibly where he's got cold feet. Precisely. Maybe if Ruben Amorim had have had that brilliant sort of first 6 months in the job and we really cemented ourselves as a much better team than what we were when he took over, then potentially that wouldn't be the same feeling. But as of right now, there is a concern that Amorim won't last the season. And so from Gyokeres' point of view, as much as it would be nice to link up with Ruben again, he's got to have concerns that maybe Ruben won't even be there that long. So that is a problem, isn't it? Whereas at Arsenal, they're established, they've got UCL, they're up there, they're challenging. They've probably sold him the whole idea and the narrative that, hey, look, if you come to Arsenal, well, you're probably the missing piece of the puzzle. You probably can get us to win things now because we're so close and we don't even have a proper striker. With you as the main guy, we are going to win everything, Victor. That's probably what you'd have to say is how they've pitched it, and they're not far wrong, really. Thank you, Brett Gordon. I appreciate you, legend. No, the best and no PS. You want to hear what Timo Schaffer has to say about this? I know. Watch this space now. I've got to get Timo Schaffer on the case as well. Absolutely. You do have a Swedish friend who's also a United fan. He is so furious and sad at the same time. It is a shame. It would have been nice to get another Swedish striker up there. We've had a couple of legends at the club before. Larsson on loan. Ibrahimovic. Would have been nice to have Gyokeres. Cameron says, welcome to Arsenal, Gyokeres. Well, it hasn't happened yet. At the moment, we know that Arsenal are still working on 2 deals, which is the Sesko deal and the Gyokeres deal. For me, it seems like Gyokeres makes way more sense for them because he's available for 70 million euros, whereas Sesko's a little bit more. And also, Gyokeres is further advanced, further experienced right now to actually come in and be a ready-made goal scorer for them. So from their point of view, I'd go and get Gyokeres. Makes all the more sense, but you never know. Amorim will be gone after 5 matches. Well, I don't think it'll be 5 matches, but man, if he lost the first 5 games, you never know. Yeah, this feels like Ollie with Haaland. If he can't attract an ex-player, we are screwed. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Tough, isn't it? I mean, maybe if you had like a real big name in there, a real big name, like a Jose Mourinho or something like that. That's the difference, isn't it? Remember when we signed Zlatan because Jose was there? That can be a difference. No disrespect to Ruben Amorim or Ollie, but it's different, isn't it? Cameron Kirtley, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, Cameron Kirtley. If you guys are new to this channel right here, right now, you can do us a favour and hit the subscribe button. We're on here every day with all the latest United news, covering all the whole transfer window, etc. Give us a cheeky little subscribe if you're new to the channel. Get us in there raw and subscribe and hit the bell. Nice one. Yeah, Chrissy, what's going on? Fab tweeted the other day he was 99% sure he would join United if we got Champions League. Losing that final has cost us big time. Absolutely. That's what it's cost. It's not just cost us 100 million, but it's cost us the ability to bring in the players that we need. And I think honestly now, I mean, maybe I'm just looking negatively now because of this whole Gyokeres situation. But honestly, I'm starting to feel like maybe the hold-up with that Mbeumo Spurs deal or Mbeumo Brentford deal with Man United, I should say, is indeed Spurs. Is indeed the fact Thomas Frank has gone in there. That's the it factor, but they do still have Champions League football, and that makes a big difference. So if you're a player who's got ambitions, you want to play in the Champions League, don't you? You want to hear that music. The champions! You want to hear that. And coming to United again right now, no guarantees you're going to hear that anytime soon. We're not in it at the moment. We finished 15th. We're probably not going to be in it next season. We might be if we have a tremendous season, but we probably won't. Whereas you're going to actually go and experience that this season with Spurs if you go to Tottenham. So genuinely, there's a lot of reasons why Spurs make sense. Thomas Frank, Champions League, that makes sense, obviously. London, London, he lives in London. Brentford is in London. It's West London. So he lives in London. So there's lots of reasons, actually, why it does make sense for Bryan Mbeumo to turn Manchester United down at the last minute and go to Tottenham if Tottenham go in for him. And if I was Thomas Frank in Tottenham, I'd definitely go in for him. Man United have done 99% of the negotiations. They know he's available for a 60, 65 million, somewhere in that region. It's a sign of backing the new manager, Thomas Frank, for Spurs. They'll back him with a new big signing, a player from his previous squad that he knows. Makes sense for everybody. They can go and pinch this player off Manchester United. So it does make a lot of sense. I genuinely believe that, I actually believe now that is the reason it's being held up. I know we hear from these reporters and everybody that this deal is essentially nearly done and that he wants to join United. And I really hope that gets done. But I just feel like, what is the delay here? We're obviously desperate for players. Surely if it was just down to 2 million, 5 million, we would just pay the money and get the guy in and get the deal done. And get it arranged at the very least. Get it arranged. But because of this delay, because of the Frank appointment at Spurs, it kind of makes me feel like the Spurs thing is a real possibility now. Especially what's happening now with teams being more of an attraction to play for than Man United because of UCL. Just look at this Gyokeres situation. Okay, the only thing is Man United can maybe pay more than Tottenham, which obviously means if he's just coming for a money preference, then still Man United's on the agenda. But maybe Spurs will back it. Maybe Spurs will back the manager. Maybe Spurs will allow that money to be spent on somebody who scored 20 goals and was fit for every single game. Maybe they will. Yep, definitely Disco Dave. Let's back up here. We have to remember Amorim came in mid-season, full summer's training. We could be a different team next season, maybe. Well, we could be, but ultimately I still think he's got a bunch of gash players that are not right for his system. Lots of sort of wingers who can't play the number 10. Lots of players who are not really fully adept at the wing-back position. The guys in the centre-backs, they're going to be fine. The guys in the central midfield, they'll be fine. But there's a few specialist positions that we haven't really got great players in that we could really do with getting in. So I feel, obviously, Amorim with time could do well with not even having to buy many players. I don't see that, though, because I think most of these players are absolutely rubbish. I think we need at least 5 players coming in this summer. 5 positions need to be strengthened for him to really have a chance. And there need to be players that he wants, and he wants to play in his system, because he didn't have that previously. He had Erik ten Hag's set of melters left over for a different system. The Dump says, if United have a bad start to the season, I can see Ineos going for Big Ange. Oh, don't say that, mate. Don't say that. Could you imagine Big Flange next Manchester United manager? Well, at least we'd win something in our second season. Just probably would be the bloody championship title, that's all. You know what I mean? Gets us fucking relegated first year. Second year, we're winning the bloody championship title. Always win something in my second year, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do. And it's the freaking championship on this occasion, lad. That's not what we need. I don't want Big Flange personally. I like him. He's a loss to the Premier League, but I wouldn't want him to be at Manchester United in all fairness. No, I just wouldn't. Oh, right, okay, so let's just read through this again. This gives a sort of clearer breakdown, really, of what's actually going on, and then we're going to get into the live chat for a proper Q&A. Once again, give us a repost if you want. Here's the link in the live chat. That's not the link. I didn't even pin it, did I? Oh, for fuck's sake. I've lost my head tonight, guys. I've not even pinned the friggin' link to the Twitter, whatever. Right, but we've smashed 200 likes. Cheers for that, everyone. We've got nearly 400 legends in here. Get yourself subscribed. Have your say in the live chat, legends, about this whole shit show, Gyokeres to Arsenal news. But let's have a look at this. So this is sort of the most detailed situation description we have from Ben Jacobs just before the stream started, which reads, Viktor Gyokeres prefers a move to the Premier League and would welcome an Arsenal bid, as Record Portugal reported. So they reported that earlier on this morning, like 9-10 hours ago. A lot of people were just saying that's bollocks. I thought it was bollocks as well, personally. Why would you believe anything that's coming out from Record Portugal there? But 9 hours later, confirmed by the likes of Fabrizio Romano, Ben Jacobs, Marco Alcaraz, everybody confirming that this is the case and that his preference is to join Arsenal. So that's what was reported by Record, and now confirmed later on this evening by the likes of Fab, Ben Jacobs and co. Okay, it goes on to say Arsenal are still deciding between Benjamin Sesko and Viktor Gyokeres. Andrea Berta simultaneously advancing both deals. So working on both. Unlikely they're going to get both. Of course they're not going to get both. That's almost 200 million for two strikers. That would be mental. But from their perspective, they just need one. They just need one or the other. They will work out which is the best one. Obviously, Arteta clearly rates Sesko. The reports are between 80 and 100 million is what he can be had for. It's more money than probably what it would take to get Viktor Gyokeres from Sporting, if you believe there's a 70 million euro release clause. So from their perspective, it makes more sense maybe to go and get a more experienced Gyokeres who's a bit cheaper and probably will give them more goals this season. Yes, Sesko in a few years could develop into one of the absolute top talents, that's true. But right now, Gyokeres makes more sense over Sesko in my opinion. So they're still deciding, though, by all accounts, between Sesko and Gyokeres. And if they were to decide on Sesko and sign Sesko, then perhaps Man United could still sign Viktor Gyokeres. But as we've said, and my perspective on it is, we don't want somebody playing for Manchester United whose preference is to play for Arsenal. That's not a good look for us. So if that's what happens, if they sign Sesko, but now that we know that Gyokeres actually doesn't really want to play for Ruben Amorim's Man United, then I say, go and do one, Victor, lad. Stay at Sporting or go to some other club, because ultimately we want people who want to be here and who are hungry to play for Man United, which is where I hope Bryan Mbeumo's coming in, and Acuna and these guys, but still we could miss out on him as well to Spurs. So it's a real palaver already. This is already a saga this summer for transfers going on at United, unfortunately. It's already a frigging saga. But Sesko or Gyokeres wanted by Arsenal. If they sign Gyokeres, obviously we're kind of screwed. We have to move on to our next targets. If not, then I think we should probably still move on to our next targets. Okay, it goes on to read, Gyokeres would be open to Manchester United. There has been no formal rejection, but a deal to date has also never been at an advanced stage, despite suggestions. So, United haven't had a bid offered or anything. We haven't tabled a bid. We've not had a bid rejected by Sporting. But also, we've not tried to convince Gyokeres to come to United. We haven't had talks, contract talks. We haven't tried to agree personal terms. We haven't agreed personal terms. There's no advancements in it. There's no discussions. It's just early feelings, basically. Feeling out the situation early doors. Would you be interested? When are you interested? Are you enjoying your vacation, Victor? Do you want to go and play for those shithouses Arsenal, etc.? This is obviously the feeling out period when it comes to, is it possible to even bring this guy in? And at the moment, it looks like no. It looks like no. Oh, Zane! Here he is. Zane Miassi. I'm glad he's not said anything, to be honest. It's just a super sticker saying keep it up. I'll take that, to be honest, Zane. Thank you very much for the super sticker there, Zane Miassi. I thought you were going to wind me up something rotten there, lad. But I respect it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker saying keep it up, lad. Yeah, I appreciate that. Ben Jacobs goes on to say here, United have not made any formal approach to Sporting. Swedish striker, one of the several striker options discussed for Man United. Gyokeres believes he'll still be allowed to leave Sporting for 70 million euros. We spoke about this yesterday. His price is seemingly set somewhere between 60 and 70 million euros, or aka 55 to 60 million pounds. That's what it's set at the moment, it seems, due to an agreement in place between the player and Sporting and his agents, etc. So that's previously been agreed. If you believe the reports, And there are reports that Gyokeres is not happy with the situation at Sporting because they're asking for more money than what was agreed. So if you believe that, then yes, Viktor Gyokeres could be had for as little as £60 million, which if you're Arsenal right now is a steal, and if you're Man United right now is a steal. It represents decent value considering how ridiculously overinflated the transfer market is when Florian Wirtz is going for €150 million and stuff like that. It's going to have a knock-on effect as well as potentially overinflating other transfers. So it represents good value, in my opinion, for the amount of goals that he scores. Arsenal have always been one to watch, but it would depend on Berta now because he's also in ongoing talks for Sesko at the same time, with a bid for one of the two targets expected soon. So no actual full-on properly tabled bids just yet. Gyokeres is going to give priority to the Premier League clubs despite having firm Saudi interest in a growing number of European suitors. So from the way this reads, and obviously we don't know what's going on in Viktor Gyokeres' head or in his agents' camps, etc. We just don't know. But what we think, and the situation as it looks, is that his preference is to join Arsenal. But if they went to go for Sesko, he would be open still to joining Manchester United. It's just on whether Ruben and Man United should actually go for someone whose preference is to join Arsenal. And let's face it, guys, right now, Manchester United right now we're the ugly duckling. You know, and the only way we're going to actually turn into a swan is just if we just go through it, if we just deal with it, go through the fire. And unfortunately, as much as I would, you know, I kind of have to be honest, as much as I don't like the idea of him saying, or the preference of his being that he would join Arsenal, as much as I don't like that, you know, we're feeding off scraps here, guys. We're feeding off scraps. Beggars can't really be choosers, can we? So ultimately, we've just got to hang on, don't we? We've got to hang on. Waiting for him to decide whether or not he's going to go to Arsenal, or whether or not Arsenal can make an agreement with Sporting, whether or not there's, you know, the basis for that to happen, because they might end up signing Sesko. And if it doesn't happen, then we probably will end up getting him as a reject. We'll be one of the rejects, you know, essentially his third choice, his second choice. So we probably will end up getting him because, let's face it, Ruben Amorim wants him. Ruben Amorim knows him, worked with him, his record's ridiculous, and we should still probably add him to our ranks if he's available and we can get him, because I think he's better than another option. But it just pisses me off if a player wants to go and play for somebody else rather than Manchester United and we still end up getting them. That's not my ideal scenario for signing a player. I'll be honest, I want players who are ridiculously committed to Manchester United, not players who are here just because they couldn't find anything better. That's the reality. But I still think if he doesn't go to Arsenal, we probably will sign him. Smash a one if you think that's the case. In the live chat there, guys, smash a one if you do think that if he doesn't go to Arsenal, we will sign him. Because I do believe that. I do still believe that we will. I don't think we'll turn our attentions too much. I think we'll just basically, sloppy seconds. Exactly, sloppy seconds, mate. That's it, lad. You've basically asked your crush out at the high school prom. And she said, "Oh yeah, but I'm going with Mikel. I'm going with Mikel. But you know what? Don't find yourself another date in case Mikel doesn't turn up or stitches me up. I'll go with you. But actually, my preference is to go with that little Spanish vampire-looking fella over there, Mikel. So sorry, but if you do want to wait and just hang on, maybe I'll go with you if Mikel sharts it, basically. That's what it is, isn't it? Who wants sloppy seconds, mate? Who the fuck wants sloppy seconds, lad? Goodness me, feels like the last man in the queue at a Bonnie Blue gig, this one. Unbelievable, isn't it? Zayn Miyasi, here he is again. Zayn Miyasi, thank you for your comment. He says, Gyokeres, Zubamendi plus remake Silent Hill 1. An announced good summer. So far, plus Avatar 3 this year. Oh, yeah, nice one there. Nice one, Zane. Yeah, nice one. To be fair, Gyokeres and Zubamendi would be good signings. Hold your horses, though. Doesn't really look like necessarily Gyokeres is nailed on. It just seems like his preference is Arsenal. You may end up still signing Sesko. That may not happen. So calm your boots there, Zane. But fair enough. Silent Hill 1 remake. Oh, mate, fair enough. Whatever. No, I'm not getting into that right now. I haven't got the energy for that right now. We're nearly at 300 likes, guys. Thank you, everyone of you who's hit the likes. Give us a like spike. Help keep hitting the likes. We're only 38 subscribers away from 90,700. We're on our way to 91,000. Get yourself subscribed down below. We're on here every day for all the United news. There's a red button down below. It's a subscribe button. It's red. It says subscribe. If you struggle reading, maybe if you're an Arsene Holland or something, there's a red button there that says subscribe. Click the red one. Nice one. Yeah, exactly. Glazers out. Made us sloppy seconds. They seriously have done, mate. Sesko going Bayern. Well, if Sesko goes Bayern, if Sesko goes anywhere else, then obviously Gyokeres is going to be Arsenal's prime target, you would think. Gavin says, I would switch focus to a ball-playing midfielder, start with Xerxes between Kuna and Mbeumo, and then if we can offload Rashi, Anthony, Sancho and Nacho, then buy an experienced striker near the end. Interesting shout, Gavin, interesting shout. But I do believe the number 9 is one of the most important places to strengthen. Xerxes could do a job there for us. I see him being a bit better more in the build-up of a team, though, rather than the finisher. Duran on loan is an interesting shout, Dino. I mean, we'd all have a bit of Duran. Obviously, young, super goals, scored before he left, obviously. But again, you've got to be concerned, lad. You've got to be concerned somebody going over to Saudi at this stage in their career just for the money. That's not a good look for me personally. He's a good player, though. Aaron, thank you for putting the link in there to repost us on X. Yes, mate. I forgot to pin it, didn't I? I've had a stinker, lad. Let me repost. Let me pin that at the top of the live chat. Does help us if anybody could repost us on X there and share it around. Nice one there, lad. Also, give us a follow on X if you're not already at Flying Pig United. Right. Okay. Let's get back into the chat then. You don't seem too happy, Piggy. Well, it's just like this window so far, isn't it? At the moment, it's like we're having the rug pulled out from underneath us, mate. Possibly with Mbeumo as well. Fingers crossed Mbeumo gets finished ASAP anytime soon and is announced that that's done between Man United and Brentford and agreed, and he's signed. End of the day, he still wants to play for Manchester United. He's said that he will play. He's agreed personal terms. It's only because the spanner got thrown in the works with Thomas Frank taken over at Spurs that has made this situation any different. He wasn't prepared to stay at Brentford and play for Frank because Brentford's a tiny club. He wanted a bigger challenge, bigger club, more money. But if Spurs can offer him everything that United can in terms of financially, I feel like his preference probably would be to go to Spurs. It's less upheaval. He could probably even stay in the same bloody house. Lives in London, plays in London still, going to Spurs, bigger club, Champions League football, with his manager who literally managed him at Brentford. What a nice way to start at a new football club. It almost makes sense, doesn't it? And from Spurs' point of view, I'd expect they'd back their new manager if he wanted to go and get him. So there is a real possibility that happens. I'm still expecting Mbeumo to United, seeing as he's already agreed personal terms with us. But nothing would surprise us right now. And if that happens, and the Gyokeres situation is, the situation as it is reported that he's going to be preferring Arsenal, then obviously it's a shit start to the transfer window, isn't it, Cake? We've ended up being sloppy seconds to Shartin, Arsenal and Spuds. Could you imagine losing out in the... Seriously, things have got to rock bottom when Man United are losing out to Spurs in the transfer window. I mean, fucking hell, seriously. You've got to say, Man United, goodness me, Spurs used to be our whipping boys. Spurs used to be our feeder club, mate. Spurs, what's that? Oh, yeah, we'll take Michael Carrick off you any which time we want. Oh, yeah, nice one. We'll take Dimitar Berbatov of you just because he's fucking awesome and you're gash, And we want him, we'll take whoever we want. That's how it was. And now it's completely... Well, it's not the other way round because Spurs are still shit. But now Man United are just equally as shit. We've actually completely fallen off. Those Glazers have ruined us, lad. Ruined us to the point where we are literally, sloppy seconds to Spurs almost in the transfer window. Yeah, there you go, Dad Salford. Good shout. If they don't want to play for us, bloody do one, lad. Completely on with you, sir. Spurs won't win a cup for 20 years, says Alex Core. Exactly, I agree. That's a bit harsh, actually, Alex. More like 17, lad. Gavin says it's a tough time right now. United are a hard sell given that we did in the league last season. There's no guarantees of Amorim. True, I think that's what it comes down to, really. Even though Gyokeres likes Amorim and has the Amorim history, there's no guarantees Amorim's going to be a success. There's no guarantees Amorim is going to get United back up there in the Champions League. There's no guarantees he'll be here beyond the Christmas period. He might get sacked off by then if we're 15th. So there is no guarantees. That's so true. And that's the problem, really. There's not a good feeling around Man United. We're not in a good place. People can see that from the outside looking in. We'll end up with Chris Wood for 250k a week. Oh, my God. Well, great season he had, but, not the right man, I don't think, for us right now, personally. We need somebody who's got more years to give us as well. But, again... we could definitely do worse, couldn't we? The world is upside down. Abano, what's happening, you legend? Yes, it is, especially if you're an Australia lad. Years of underperformance have cost United dear. Only will get worse in the future if things don't change. Yep, Ryan says, hire a proper manager. We will attract proper players. It's Moyes all over again. Not so sure, mate. Remember, United's situation is a big problem as well. Big problem as well, mate. you got to say Man United is not in a good position, and people can see that. It's just a nightmare time period for us, you know. Thank you, Simon Warner, for the super chat. He says, our transfer window has now turned into a circus. Well, our stadium may well end up being that as well at some point, eh? Could happen. So, you know, it's a little bit of a concern. It is a little bit of a concern, that. What's this, Berber? You've posted in here? Not everyone within the United hierarchy was totally convinced on Viktor Gyokeres. Hey, Berber, mate. Please don't post links in the live chat, mate. Thank you very much. Nice one. Check that little update. Please send it me on Telegram, lad. We don't want to divert people away from the stream. You know what I'm saying? That's all good, though. Thank you, lad. Zayn Miassi, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Piggy, £67 bet. Ruben sacked by November. I'll definitely take that bet. I don't think he's getting sacked by November. I think he'll at least last till December the 1st. So I'll take that bet with you, but there's no point taking a bet with you because you're gash, lad. Because you're gash, lad. And you won't settle up the bet. You know why? Because you're a Welcher, lad. You're Raquel Welch, mate. You're not going to settle up the bet, lad. So what's the point of making a bet with you anyway? Berber in the mud. It's all good, it's all good. But yes, if you could just send it me privately on Telegram, that would be much better, because then nobody's getting diverted, you know what I'm saying? Ineos don't want to spend 200k a week on wages. There you go, that's also another factor, isn't it? Yeah, in terms of the amounts of, you know, the wages obviously involved, it is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And like you say, the hierarchy at Manchester United, Berber's just sent me something there, the hierarchy of Manchester United maybe have cold feet. There you go. Trying to cheap out on everything. You know, they just spent a year trying to get rid of Doris the tea lady, for Pete's sake. They don't want to have to do this. Would Eddie Howe improve United? I think so, Tony. I really rate Eddie Howe. He's one of my favourite managers, to be fair. Great coach. I really rated him, always have rated him. I think he's a great coach. So, yes, I think he would. I mean, I hope one day we do actually get Eddie Howe as long-term manager. Not saying I want Ruben Amorim to fail and be replaced, but I'm just saying one day I could see him being the right fit for us, you know. Let's face it, he's just getting the experience at Newcastle before he gets the big job at United. You know what I mean, lad? You know what I mean? Bring in all the best championship and underrated players and rebuild. Who would be ready to die for us on the pitch? The ones who got rejected by all. We have to do this or we are doomed. Well, to a degree, yes. We don't just want a bunch of shitbag passion merchants. There needs to be a balance. But yes, character is super important, and players who actually want to play for us are very important as well. That's why we were all very keen on getting Mbeumo in, because it seemed he was a United fan as a kid, and he seemed he was rushing to get the deal done, turn down Newcastle, turn down other clubs in order to join Manchester United. But at the moment, there is a delay. Yeah, Eddie Howe for England manager makes a heck of a lot of sense as well. Absolutely, yes. You agree, wanted him after he was at Bournemouth, definitely. Describe for us how rejection feels. Ray, rejection feels. How does rejection feel? Depends on the type of rejection. Could be a kick in the bollocks, could be a slap across the face, mate. Depends on what you're getting rejected for, lad. You know what I mean? Right, I'm going to shout out everybody who's reposted us on X. Big up to the live chat legends. Thank you so much. I'm going to shout everyone out there. Piggy loves distressing transfer rumours, says it gets the heart pumping. Well, my heart rate's only 77 right now, which isn't too bad, you know. Zayn Miassi, thank you for your super chat. He says, if Spurs finish higher than you, dark side has consumed United. Grave danger lies ahead. Clouded it is. Feisty one you are. Zayn, what's the matter with you, bud? If Spurs finish higher than you, dark side has consumed United. Grave danger lies ahead. Clouded it is. He's literally Yoda now. No, he's not even pretending anymore. He's literally talking about the dark side and stuff. Fucking hell. All right, fair enough, lad. Respect to you. Let me shout out everyone on X then. Thank you so much to the reposters. We've had 12 reposts. Bloody hell. Thank you for the reposters there. Cal L, Gary Wadsley, MUFC Brummy Reds, Vincent Bullock, Sanjay Ramatar, Kieran, John Boy Cat, Aaron Homeyard, United Flying High, Aidan Vickery, and the Mario 55. Thank you so much, you legends, for reposting us. I appreciate that. Yeah, put the pipe down, Zayn, mate. Come on. Bloody hell. We ain't getting Mbeumo. Oh, mate. Well, as the window seems to, you know, it's obviously closed at the moment, but as the summer goes on and the delay goes on, you know, this was supposed to be done a week ago. The delay's getting longer and longer and longer. It does cause a little bit of concern, mate. I'll definitely give you that, yeah. You predict Arsenal utter shite again next year? Hope so, bud. Wouldn't it be funny if Gyokeres signed for them and then they just went down to 7th or something? But I don't think that's going to happen, personally. Eddie is doing a great job, leaving where he is, thanks. No, I think he's done brilliantly. Yeah, I mean, obviously getting your first trophy since probably 1955 or whatever it is deserves a lot of credit, but just what he's done to the squad in general. And also, I just like the way he plays his football. I like the way he coaches, anyhow. He's just a good coach. He was good at Bournemouth. He was good at Burnley, you know. Smoking that Yoda pack, I see. Yeah, Zane's on that Yoda pack right now. Put it down, Zane. He loves his spice. Maybe that's what it is. It's not even, you know, it's not even Mary Jane, mate. It's actual synthetic spice that he's got on from somebody in prison. You know what I mean? Apart from Gyokeres and Mbeumo, who could turn out to be foul language soon? Which 5 players would you really like? Okay, thank you, Simon. So, let's talk about Mbeumo first of all. So, to replace Mbeumo, if we can't get Mbeumo, if Mbeumo does the dirty and goes to Spurs, then I'm looking at Semenyo over at Bournemouth and thinking that could be an obtainable player who we could probably sign for not too much. Makes a bit of sense. I would like him. If not, maybe Wharton and then play Bruno a bit further up, play Wharton a bit deeper there. That could also work. Easy at Crystal Palace makes a little bit of sense as well. Easy. And then for the other position, that if we can't get Gyokeres and we need a number 9, well, I personally, honestly, out of the choices available right now, I think I probably would go Mateta, just because he got like 14 Prem goals. He's 27. He's ready-made to score some goals for us now. The problem is we can't just go and take a gamble on someone coming from a different league who might do well. We need somebody a bit more proven. Kluivert's a good shout over at Bournemouth as well. Absolutely, yes. I like the idea of going to get somebody who's in the Prem, who scored goals in the Prem, who knows the Prem, who fits the Prem, who works in the Prem, and is a success in the Prem. Because then at least we sort of know what we're getting more so. You can't always say that. I mean, remember Schneiderlin was good for Southampton, and then he came over to United and he was rubbish, wasn't he? So you can't really always say that. Sometimes people just have like one season wonders. But I'd rather us do something like that rather than maybe go and get Osserman, who may end up being a bit of a flop for us. He is a good player. He's a great player. But is he coming? Would he be coming for the right reasons or just for money? Rashford. You'd have Rashford up top there, would you? Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, if Rashford had his head straight, good player to have in the team, definitely. 100% could do a lot worse than Rashford if he's got his head straight. But is he actually wanting to play for Man United? I think he's already said he wants to leave. Sick of the way it takes us so long to get players over the line. It is very infuriating. United need almost a complete rebuild. Gyokeres is 27. He will be done before the rebuild brings trophies. Makes no sense to join Man United. I wouldn't say that really, Andy. He's still got 5-6 years at the top there. Could be just a couple of seasons. Maybe even next year we could be back in the Champions League. Yet Mateta would honestly be good for us as Triple R. Mao says Mateta's not a good fit for you. He needs hugs or cuddles to play best. Not going to get that at United. Come on, mate. Ruben loves a cuddle. Evan Ferguson, interesting shout. Yeah, Evan Ferguson. Wharton would cost a lot. Bournemouth will rinse us for Semenyo. Steady on there, Robert and Sire lad. Visser's a great shout. Yeah, Visser or Mateta. One of those two. I would go for the Premier League proven experience of a player who plays for a lesser team who might be able to step up and do bits on a bigger stage. I would go with that, Dan, rather than going to get someone from a different league abroad. Good shout, lad. You could just support Palace. Well, they've got some good players, mate, to be fair. Palace have got some real good ballers, don't they? I'm just saying, they have got some good players, and they're obtainable. From Man United's perspective, they're obtainables. Palace is not as big as a club anywhere near as United, even though they won a trophy this season. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Mateta. Acuna Mateta, Dream Judo. Just think about that. Acuna Mateta for the rest of my days. It's no problem free society. I can't remember the lyrics. But yeah, good shout there. We should be getting centre-backs and a goalie first. We'll be destroyed next season. I'm not so sure about the centre-backs, another one. We could do with one, I think, but we still got De Ligt, Maguire, Yoro, Heaven, and someone else who I'm forgetting. We've definitely still got some, but maybe one more in there to replace the outgoing Lindelof and Evans does make sense, lad. Evan Ferguson's a good shout. Yeah, no great Man United manager became great chasing top players in a transfer market. We recognised players, took them in, and built them to be the best in the world. Need to go back to DNA. Very interesting, Susan. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, obviously, yeah, to a degree, I believe you're absolutely right. Some players, like, for instance, Cantona we obtained for £1 million. You would think, why would league champions Leeds want to sell Manchester United Cantona on the veritably cheap? Well, it's because, like you say, he wasn't obviously the main man at Leeds, whereas he's come to Man United and Fergie's made him the main man, lad. It's a fair point. If we lose Gyokeres, we need to move for Osserman. Hey, get this, guys. You know, I had a very strange dream last night, right, guys? A very strange dream. And I can only really remember some of it, right? I can only remember some of it, so it's quite cloudy. But in my dream, we signed a player this summer, and you can just obviously this is just a dream. This is just a dream. But in my dream, we signed a player, and I'm almost convinced that player was João Felix. Honestly, and he turned out to be fucking mint for us. That was in my dream. Random, I know. Anyway, there you go. Exactly, Cinnamon. Timo and Pig equals Kuna Mateta. That could definitely work. As for United, but anyway, Osimhen we need. You take Saul off or Strand Larsen, they don't argue for higher wages and works for the last time they're team players. I wouldn't either, mate. He's on massive money, isn't he? United haunted Piggy even in dreams. They are. No, it's just a shit dream, but randomly, I mean, I don't even want that, by the way. I don't want that. He is a very good player, actually. In Amarim's system, in like a number 10 role, João Felix probably be pretty good, actually. But no, I don't think that's going to happen, mate. And then he wanted to go to Arsenal, yeah. You gent of Janet from accounts bent over the laser printer, top that. It's a really bad time when you're dreaming about transfers. I know, yeah, it is. We need Timo Shafters to get Onana out of United first. Need to give Højlund time. He'll be a 5-goal striker in a season. He'll develop and he'll do double bits this season and get 6 goals. That wasn't a dream, it was a stroke. Osimhen in. Maybe Osimhen's the one. Osimhen's the one that comes in with the most experience and probably to be able to score the most goals. But he also comes in with the most risk as well. Yeah, fair enough then, Mike. Gyokeres, if you can't get him, Justin Kluivert's your pick. I like that as well. Premier League experience is important. Martinez for Onana will save us as much points as Gyokeres earns us. Yeah, true. We need to get some Onana replacement in. That's absolutely true. Real Bro comments, United talking about bringing in players. Who's taken the United players once rid of? Yeah, no one at the moment, mate. Nah, I don't know. Seriously, though, Anthony Dos Santos probably to Real Betis or maybe Leverkusen. Garnacho, who knows? Maybe Napoli, maybe in Italy somewhere, Spain. Who knows? Again. Rashford, Barcelona, probably not actually now that they go for Nico Williams or whatever. I don't know. Good question. There's lots of players that need to be moved on. Andre Onana, it's not like teams are queuing around the corner for him. Arsenal are bottle jobs in United who finished 15th in bottle final. Yeah, then we can't argue with that. You'd rather have my dad in goals than Onana. True, but your dad's actually Neville Southall, so I would too. Anyway, it says Man United can't sign players of the level to win titles, etc., until they bought a team that gets them challenging. That's the first step. You're right. We aren't able to go and sign Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, and these guys right now. In the Fergie days, we could have done that because we were up there. We were built. But now we're not. You're right. Now we need to rebuild. And we need players who can take us up there. Matoma's underrated. Oh, I like Matoma a lot. But he's getting on a bit now. I don't know if Brighton would be open to selling him for anything less than probably too much money for his age and everything. Osimhen, money grabber. What's up there, Kev Tech? Yes, Jonathan, you're not wrong. I think that could be a potential. João Felix cost 100 million at one point. Never forget that. Well, he was a great player. He really did look a great player with a big, huge potential. Very silky player. Very intelligent, but I don't know, just a little bit. He's just a bit of a shit Kaka, isn't he? Kaka was amazing, by the way, but Kaka tailed off later on in his career, and I feel like João Felix is doing the same. Yes, you can join us for 10:45 p.m. over on the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. Make sure you subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming to join us. We've smashed 300 likes on this stream, by the way. Big up all you legends. Thank you so much, every one of you, for hitting the subscribe button and smashing the like. Keep subscribing, keep hitting the likes. You know it makes sense. I'm going to stick on here for a good few minutes, though, and read a few more of your comments out. So have your say, guys, if you haven't already. Osimhen's fire. Osimhen is great, Tavis. I wouldn't say no. I just hope that you come in for the right reasons. If we can't get Gyokeres, I would be interested in Osimhen, definitely. The only Felix I would take to the cat food. Come back, McSauce. We need your goals. Hey, did anybody see a video of Scott McTominay smoking a doobie the other day on the top of an open-top bus? Or was that just a cigarette? Either way, he's fucking having a good old time out there, mate. He's not coming back. He's literally a hero out there. He's a hero. He's won the Serie A. He's a fucking hero. He's smoking joints on top of buses, mate. He's living his best life, mate. You know what I mean? He's not coming back here for the pressure of United. You saw that. Go on, Scotland. Yes, mate. Come on. Do I have to super chat to get my comment noticed? Yes, you do, Gaz. Those are the new rules, mate. Piggy United are way out of it. Gaz, of course not, Gaz. What you on about, Gaz? Goodness me, Gaz, what? If I wrote down the amount of comments I've read of yours over the years, I could probably fill a fucking Gideon's Bible, mate. Gaz wants. Of course you don't have to super chat. I'm reading everybody's commentary. There's hundreds of people watching me. I'm going to miss some. I'm only human. Right. But you don't need to super chat, Gaz. Trust me. Thank you, Gavin. Deserve a lot more attention than likes. Honest, passionate fan. Thank you so much, Gavin. That's very nice to say. When is the Timu Shafter channel coming out? Oh, mate. Do you know what? Do you know what? I've got a whole script which I was going to record later. It takes me, just so you know, to put it into a bit of perspective. People might just think that I fart those little sketches out, and they are only like 3.5 minute sketches. But honestly, it takes a bit of writing and stuff. I have written a whole fucking script here about Gyokeres to United and turning down Arsenal and all this. Look, Victor, the Viking of Lisbon, the Nordic nightmare for defenders. You know, more reliable than a Volvo when it comes to scoring goals. Right? And I've got the whole thing here. Mate, they've had more documentaries and titles this decade. All or Nothing, more like All for Second. You know, I've got the whole script. I've written a whole fucking script! And now I can't even fucking use it, mate! You know what I mean? Because he's already seems like he's rejected Arsenal, and he's going to, the other way round. Rejected Man United and potentially wants Arsenal. So now I can't even use the fucking thing. So, pretty annoying. Those sketches are absolute gold. Oh, well, thank you. I will do more of them. I was going to do a Gyokeres one, and now I'm pissed off. You didn't read my Semenyo joke? Probably just as well, Kate Ben, to be honest. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. You're going to have to put it in there again, mate. I can't find that. Thank you so much, Elliot. Says Timo Shafter's a legend. I do need to do more of them. I haven't done one for a week or two. I'll do some. So maybe I'll just mix it up and try and still convince him to come. You know, just replace United with Arsenal and the script done. Yeah, I guess, but you know, I don't really want to do that because it's slagging off my team, isn't it? This is why clubs are more focused on UCL football every season. It's a game changer if you're not in it. It's so much harder to sell a project. Yes, true. Piggy Tarantino, is that the best you got, man? You've been shredded all evening. You what? You knew losing to Spurs in that final would fuck us up, Pig. Yeah, it really has cost us. What are the chances maybe Alvarez to United? I would take it in a heartbeat, mate. Julian Alvarez, great player, lad. I would love that. But not the biggest chances going, I don't think, no. You was Bonnie's 2000th? Which midfielder over the past 2 seasons do we reject selling and would love to have back? Well, it would have to be Scotty, wouldn't it? Yeah. You bet Gyokeres wouldn't reject Bonnie Blue? He probably would, mate. I reckon he would. You should go for Vardy. I mean, seeing as I would, you know, I would, to be fair, and I'm a horny devil. Unless you want to wear a fucking hazmat suit and, you know, and triple bag up, lads, to the point where you can't fit anything anyway. It's not worth it, is it? It's not worth it, lad. You don't want to become radioactive just for a, you know, anyway. Suzanne, thank you, says, fuck Gyokeres, I don't want him. If he gets rejected by Arsenal for Sesko, hope United won't buy him. Well, that's on the cards now, isn't it? If he's, now it's known that he wants to go to Arsenal. If they do end up getting Sesko, do we really want his sloppy seconds, mate? Couldn't get into Brighton's team, loads talent out there. Gyokeres, he is gash anyways. Julian Alvarez, it is wishful thinking. It's football agent time. We want Timu now. Yes, Cake deleted it. The joke. What did you delete, Cake? Should have a test. You said Semenyo. Anyone with semen in their name has to be wank. That's actually not bad, mate. That's actually not bad, Cake. That's some of your better work, that, mate. That's actually some of your better work. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Here's another joke that I've elaborated on from your joke. Ready? What did the sperm say? What did the big sperm say to the little sperm? Seaman, yo! Would be hilarious if Gyokeres ends up at United. Was saying you should try for Bowen from us, as our owners would probably sell him, and apparently we are skint. Exactly. Even Jamie Vardy's rejecting us now. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Big talk about strikers every day. Maybe I'm an old school piggy, but defence first. That's basic, mate. But these days are maybe long gone. All the best teams are built on defence, you're right. But I don't think our biggest problem is the defence. The goalkeeper, definitely. But I saw a lot from De Ligt. I saw a lot from Yoro. I know Slabby's solid. You know, he's solid these days for us. We do have a few injury issues at the back. But I don't think the defenders necessarily is the biggest problem area. I feel like they defended well at times last season. I feel like the biggest issues is creating chances, scoring chances, and stopping making stupid mistakes at the back there in goals, mainly. So I feel you, but I agree all the best teams are built on defence. and we do need that, but it's not the biggest problem area in our team right now. The goalkeeper and the striker are the biggest, I suppose. Yeah, there are a bunch, Kev Tech. There are a bunch. We talked about Osman, Mateta, Duran, Mitrovic, people are saying. Who else is people saying? Visser. There is some good ones. Getting Mbeumo done and shut these spuddy meltbags down. 100%, yes. He still might, but that melt. Arteta prefers Sesko and Havertz. Yeah, what did the ovum say to the swimmers? Semenyo. Yes! Kind of just took what I did and, elaborated on it there again. Our defence is decent, just Onana. I didn't pick up on it. Whatever, it's a good one. Lack of goals is the biggest issue. You see people watch Bonnie Blue. Who's doing that? I'd rather watch Ronnie Red, for fuck's sake. No, I wouldn't, actually. Osman Dwayne says, because Ronnie Red sounds like a bloke. We might as well sign some lads from the Championship at that rate. Get 20 of them for 50 million, for fuck's sake. Your midfielder's on League 2 level, mate. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that, lad. I wouldn't say that. At least Championship. Come on. You don't see any leaders in defence. Only Yoro's the guy. He's going to be brilliant for us, isn't he? João Pedro. Not in the moment, Mookies. It seems like we've turned our attention to that later. I don't know why, but it seems like that's not our priority right now, even though it should be. No point wasting money on someone who could be as popular as a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Gyokeres is over 21. Let him make his own choice. Failing to make chances and put chances away was our biggest problem, not defence. Yes, I'm with you there, Tavis. And obviously, flubber-handed mistakes in goal. But actually, the goals was the problem, wasn't it? Literally, we had as many. The front three scored as many throughout the season as Mbeumo did for Brentford. This transfer window has been a shambles, and I believe that's about to get worse. It might do if we miss out on Mbeumo. It's a debacle. It's a debacle. Well, it's probably going to be Dorgu, and I suppose probably, I don't know, Dallo. But also, I'd imagine that actually Ahmad Diallo is going to get some opportunities there as well as an attacking wing-back if we sign Mbeumo. What did the sperm say to someone with a balaclava on? Semenyo? Okay, another joke for you. What did Jesse from Breaking Bad say after he had a wank? Semenyo! Sorry, guys. I think we need to wrap this stream up, don't we? This is turning into a fucking absolute debacle of a stream. Anyway, that's your fault that is cake, lad. That's your fault that is cake, lad. Right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning into this stream. All legends in the live chat. We've got 327 likes. Thank you for supporting the show by smashing that like. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're going to be on here tomorrow with all the latest breaking news in regards to Manchester United, and as well as anything, that if there's anything that breaks, we'll jump on. And also, if there's anything not breaking, we're still going to do the classic usual shows as well. So please do join us. But tonight, guys, we're over on the gaming channel at 10:45 p.m. doing another cheeky little late night stream on the gaming channel playing FC25. Thank you, Daz Salford. Thank you, everyone. Get your coat. Why have I pulled? That was poor. Oh, need to sell half these players too? Yes, we do. Gaz Wads, thank you so much for the super chat, you legend. What about Maro and Shamak? Let's go. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Come over here. Look, we've got a link in the chat here, guys. I'm going to pin it to the top. FC25 stream, 10:45 p.m. If you're not subscribed to Flying Pig Gaming channel, click that link, go over there and subscribe. You're having a meh. If you're not subscribed to that gaming channel, give us a subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming. That's the name of the gaming channel. There's the link at the top. Also, get yourself subscribed to this channel, Flying Pig United, for the latest updates in regards to Man United. We'll be on tomorrow again, lunchtime, and in the evening around about 10, with all the latest goings on. I want to say thank you to all the moderators, people like Mikhail Kramer, Kate Cadet, Berber, Jonathan Gallagher, Aaron, all the legends, Daz Salford, all the legendary moderators. Big up the mod squad for moderating the chat. Big up to all the members in green for supporting the show, people like Paul Warby, Lewis Erasers, Susan Chetry, etc., Martin Pickard, Craig GC, and everyone. Big ups to everyone who's got in the chat. Stefan, Gio, MUFC, Dazda, you legend, and everybody else who's in here. Thank you so much for watching. Look, you don't have to end the debate there. Come back after this video's finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in about the whole Gyokeres to Arsenal guff. Would you still have Gyokeres if they end up signing Sesko? That's what I want to know. Cake Cadet says hashtag Turtlin. You're very astute, Cake. You're very astute, lad. Right, guys, thank you so much for that, Cake Cadet. Get some love in there for Cake. Nice one, Stefan. Right, that's it. Come back after. Have your say in the not live comments. Keep the debate going. Follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Hey, Manoda, have a great one, you legend. Come and join us for the FIFA stream if you want in a bit, and we can conversate. Nice one. Stay classy, everyone, And remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.